Hi, this is Shade Foray with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm here with Steven Swenson. Again, this is another one of our Property Deal of the Week videos.
Yeah, today's video is going to be about county in the state of Washington. Washington is a tax deed foreclosure auction, which means that they go ahead and foreclose on the properties and offer them up at a tax deed sale.
Yeah, so you can basically buy properties that have been foreclosed on in the tax sales there in Washington, starting at about the what's owed in past due taxes and fees.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on here, we noticed that only about 15% of our viewers are actually subscribed. So we want to encourage you guys to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that we upload.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
So we're going to be looking at a sale in Grays Harbor that's coming up here on September 17th.
Yeah, this is going to be through Bid for Assets. It's an online auction where it's not a huge auction. I think they're offering, maybe 15 or 20 properties. But I thought there was a couple ones that would be interesting to go through. This first property, you can see is kind of a mixture of two different types of properties, but it has an opening bid of $20,000.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can tell that the shop part of it's probably newer.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's pretty big too. It's set up to handle some big equipment.
Yeah, it's definitely a large size shop and possible warehouse. So we can see some of the basic information here. One thing that I wanted to point out about this particular one is we can see that there's an IRS lien about it. And in fact, that all of these properties in this auction have little things that are a little bit red flags that we'd check into before actually buying the property. Now, in most cases with an IRS lien, what's going to happen is once you acquire the property, you're going to contact the IRS and they'll have 120 days to either, release the lien or essentially pay you off and take ownership of the property.
One thing that's interesting about this one is it tells us an IRS amount.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
Well, at least in most cases, we don't normally see the amount.
Yeah, I think that, they had that pulled up when they were doing the foreclosure. Because a lot of these Washington states will have title reports.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to pull that up. But it has a value of $205. So there is a risk the IRS could take it from us, but for the most part, what we've seen is the IRS just goes ahead and releases the lien.
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot of additional work for them to, to take the property and to sell it. And so I'm not sure what the threshold is, for when they decide to do it, but they don't take too many properties to foreclose.
Yeah. So here we can see the property, and like Shade said, it is a pretty big building. We can see, there's 3,000 square foot in the metal shop, 4,800 on the first floor, and then another 1,600 on the second floor, with another, 1,300 in that back building you can see on one side.
Yeah, tons and tons of space there, really. Yeah, and you can tell they were definitely built at probably at different periods of time there, but it makes for a whole lot of, commercial space.
Yeah, well, and even if you need to go in there and rehab some of that other part of the building, it is large. It appears to be, cinder block and brick and things like that, so pretty solid.
Well, and it sold for $313 back in 2005.
Yeah. Well, and you can see those big, huge garages, huge bay garages, so, you can fit in really almost anything in some of those bays.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so overall, this property opens up at $20,000. The value on it's, likely 300 plus.
Yeah.
So it's starting off at a pretty low, bid to value ratio. Even off the assessed, it's 10%.
Yeah. The only thing with just that IRS lien, and of course, do some more due diligence on site evaluations, but it looks like it could be a pretty good deal. These are two building lots opening up for $1,000. These aren't necessarily the most sexy properties in the world. In fact, I'm not even positive we would buy them. And that's part of the reason we kind of want to talk about it because, we always talk about buying cheaper properties, or starting small with pieces of land. And these could be possibilities, but we'd have to do some additional due diligence before just going in and buying them.
Yeah, so they've got an assessed value there of $4,000.
Yeah, they have assessed value around $4,000. Opening bid $1,000.
Are they on the ocean?
They're pretty close, as you can see.
Is that the ocean right there?
That's the ocean, yeah.
Coming up here. So.
Yeah, and if they were just regular building lots, in which they are in a way. But one thing that was interesting is when I kind of scrolled out there, I could see some type of Indian reservation. And from what I understand about the Indian reservations in Arizona and Utah, places like that, the reservation doesn't pay any property taxes. Essentially they're owned by the tribe. And so, seeing that it was on an Indian reservation kind of made me wonder, or possibly, within that range, made me wonder, are these sellable? Can you buy it? Obviously, you can buy it, but we'd have to do a little bit more research into that before buying it.
Yeah, there are some homes in the area, though.
Yeah, there are definitely homes in the area.
Yeah, so, there are people there that are using
it. And, that's what was so cool about them is that they were so close to the ocean. In fact, you can see here's one of the lots, and then down there below is the other lot, and there's a home on the other side of that other lot. There's a home by that. So there's homes in the area. Has a lot of interest, but we need to find out a little bit more about the reservation and make sure that we can go ahead and buy and sell these properties like normal.
Yeah, which chances are we probably can, since they're on the list.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's another property, another cheap piece of land.
Yeah, $715 opening bid. It doesn't have quite as high as assessed value. Around, just under 3,000, but it is, a 0.26 of an acre, so it's over a quarter of the acre. It's undeveloped land, and when I scrolled out and looked at some other lots within this, we're kind of on the edge of town here. There was similar sized lots where people had buildable lots, and the property values of lots within the area, I couldn't find much for under 10 grand. So you need to do a little bit more due diligence, make sure that it's buildable, but it could be a decent property to buy. Looked like it had a pretty good street view, overall pretty area.
Yeah. Again, this is a sale here for Grays Harbor, Washington. This is going to be September 17th on Bid for Assets, and deposits due by the 13th.
Yeah, what's nice about it is only $500 deposit here.
Yeah, so a lot of them require a percentage, so a $500 deposit's pretty easy.
Yeah. So as far as what we do, if you like our videos, go ahead and check out our membership program. We really think it's the best value in tax sale education. It's $39 a month, $29 a month if you do a year up front.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to hit that like button.
Yeah, appreciate it.